You know, we make thousands of decisions every single day. But what if I told you that your most important ones, the big ones, are being hijacked by a totally invisible force? Today, we are diving deep into a cognitive bias that messes with who you hire, who you trust, and yeah, even who you love. It's called the halo effect. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's start with a quick thought experiment. Picture this. Two people walk into a room. One is, conventionally attractive. The other one is pretty average looking. Now you have to make a snap judgment. Who do you instinctively trust more?
Wild, right? But here's the kicker. Before you even had time to consciously process that question, your brain already picked one. It happened in less than 100 milliseconds. That's faster than a blink of an eye. See, this isn't a conscious choice you're making, it's a deep, primal neurological reflex. Now, this is where it gets a little scary. What if that tiny, instantaneous judgment is the real root cause of your biggest mistakes in life? Think about it. Choosing the wrong partner, hiring that employee who talks a great game but can't deliver, trusting a leader who looks the part but isn't. It all starts right here with this one invisible bias.
But here's the good news. You are not powerless against this. Not at all. This bias, once you understand it, can totally be managed. And by the end of this explainer, I'm going to give you a practical system you can use to override it in real time.
All right, so let's pull back the curtain. What exactly is this invisible judgment? Well, it's a well-documented cognitive bias, and just understanding it is the first, crucial step to taking back control of your decisions. It's called the halo effect. And to put it simply, it's when our first impression of someone is positive in just one area, like say how they look. We just unconsciously assume they're great in other, totally unrelated areas. We let that one good trait cast a halo over our entire perception of them. And the effects of this are, well, they're everywhere. We see a good-looking person and our brain just whispers, oh, they're probably smart, probably capable. We hear a really confident speaker and we automatically think, yeah, they must be honest, trustworthy. This isn't just some little mental quirk. It literally influences who gets hired, who gets elected, and where we all decide to invest our hard-earned money.
Now, it is absolutely crucial to understand this. This is not a personal flaw. It's not a moral failing on your part. This is just your brain's ancient hardware doing what it was designed to do. See, for our ancestors, making split-second judgments about who was a friend or a foe, healthy or sick, that was a legit survival skill. The halo effect is just a mental shortcut that saved time when time was literally a matter of life and death. The problem is, in our complex modern world, that shortcut is often dead wrong.
So while that instinct is ancient, the consequences today are very modern and, frankly, very costly. What really happens when we let this invisible judgment run our lives without us even knowing it?
Okay, this is where the rubber really meets the road. I want you to think about hiring someone. You've got this one candidate who is just incredibly charming, so polished in the interview, says all the perfect things, that halo is just blinding. But then 3 months into the job, the results, they just aren't there. You didn't hire the best person for the job, you hired the best interviewee. In pretty much every one of these cases, appearance is trumping reality and you're the one who pays the price.
And ask yourself this, honestly. When someone speaks with just immense confidence, and they're using all the right jargon, painting this super compelling picture of success, how much does that really influence you? Come on. It's so easy to get swept up in the story, even when the facts underneath are kind of weak. And this really gets to the core of the danger. I want you to remember this phrase: charisma can simulate competence. A great presentation is not a great business, and the halo effect is what makes us mistake that simulation for the real thing, time and time again.
So the billion-dollar question is, how do we get past the simulation? How do we see what's actually real? How do we build a defense against our own brain's faulty shortcuts? Well, we need a system. Let's call it the Reality Filter Framework.
The framework itself is actually pretty simple. It's just 3 steps. First, you have to consciously separate appearance from evidence. Second, you have to ask, what measurable proof actually exists here? I'm talking hard numbers, past results, things you can verify. And third, and this might be the most important, you have to delay any emotionally charged decision by at least 24 hours. This gives that shiny halo time to fade so your rational mind can actually get to work. So let me give you a perfect real-world example. A candidate who is charming, well-spoken, gives all the perfect answers in an interview, that is an appearance. A portfolio of complex projects they've actually completed, backed up by real references and data, that is evidence. The reality filter is a system that forces you to value the second thing way, way more than the first.
As we start to wrap this up, I want you to really remember this. True personal growth isn't really about becoming smarter in the traditional sense. It's about becoming less biased. It's about upgrading the quality of your own mental operating system.
And that reality filter framework, it's exactly that. It's a system. And that's what we do here. We build systems so that our fleeting, unreliable emotions don't get to run our lives. If you want to think with more clarity than 90% of the people out there, this is how you do it. We build mental operating systems.
So I'll leave you with this one final thought. The next time you feel that immediate rush, that instant admiration or trust for someone you've just met, I want you to let that feeling become a trigger. Not a trigger to make a decision, but a trigger for one simple, powerful action. Just pause. And in that pause, that's when you apply the filter.